Alright, this will be a trade recap for Monday, July 6, 2026. So looking at the pre-market screenshot right here, price has been very balanced recently in this higher time frame. And then even more recently, we've been balanced overnight. It's between this pre-market high and pre-market low. So first thing I was watching was for this pre-market high and pre-market low to potentially reverse for an overnight mean reversion. And then from there, I was watching these next extremes for mean reversion. I wasn't really watching a breakout for continuation outside of this tiny balance inside the higher time frame balance. So we took 3 plays at that scenario one, looking for rejections of 7.574. So we'll get right into that. You can see at market open, price rallies hard right here into 7573, right there at our key level, just a point below. Sells off hard, retests. On this retest, I get a nice entry. It starts to break down. We get one more pop. I get stopped out. I don't get a re-entry, and then price is down 15 plus points just after that, reverting to the mean, hitting my target without me. So we'll look at that entry real quick. You can see here we're rejecting from that lower time frame balance high. Nothing much on this picture. Here we can see absorption of buyers. Aggressive selling came in on this move, retested, and buyers are weak here, getting absorbed. And you can see this offer even stepping in here. Selling starts to come in a bit there for my entry. Could have been a little bit stronger, but that's where I get in, take a 3-point hit, and then price rallies another 1.5 about, and then dumps 15 plus points, about 20 points in 4 candles. It is what it is. I did get another entry on part of this move, so I'll go through that real quick. Nothing too much on here. Same thing, rejecting that balance high. Definitely a riskier entry at this point, because at this point we're already kind of hitting the midpoint of the overnight balance. So there's a good chance this thing just explodes to the top. But what I saw here was I get stopped out on this move up. Price sells off aggressively. It starts to consolidate. Buyers get absorbed here. You can see that positive delta start to build. We get another aggressive sell-off down. So I'm watching a retest of this delta level to exhaust buyers again. It happens. I get a nice entry. Price pushes down. Let's see. I get 7.25 points of run-up all the way down here to the low of day, and I don't scale out, even though we're hitting, we're past midpoint, we're hitting where I should get out, but it wasn't at 2R yet, and I wasn't locked in enough to make a good plan before that trade. I was a bit flustered, so I didn't get out in time, and then what ended up happening is break even hit there, and then reduced risk hit there. So I lost a 1.5 on a 5-point risk play. Not the end of the world. But if I would have been a little bit more prepared, I could have gotten a scale out at the midpoint, then a break-even scale, and snagged a couple points on that. But it is what it is. It's not about being perfect, but it's about learning from mistakes. And one thing I can learn from is in that type of trade, I need to not worry as much about risk-reward. It's more about price target, because it's very likely price can reverse where it did in these type of conditions. When we have a balance like this, we reject it up here. We're at this midpoint of the balance, which is also this value area low. There is no reason to be greedy on that play, and I just wasn't quick enough to get on that. Made a little bit of a mistake, but it is what it is. Price rallies back up. We break high of day, and I get one more entry try on this. I will say my entry was a little bit late. I was a bit hesitant at first, and then, yeah, when I finally got in, it was not as ideal, but you can see that high, still holding that balance. We break high of day, super quick rejection back into the daily range. And right here, it's kind of hard to see, but that little buying, that was a small pullback with weak buying. That was my signal to get in once more selling came in. I looked away for half a second. Price was already dropping hard, so I get an entry down here. Ideally, I probably would have got it somewhere in here. Another, would we got in at 66.75. Ideally, we would have gotten in between like 69, 68, but it is what it is. So I was risking a bit more on that, 4.75 points. It's not crazy, but a bit more than I wanted to. At this point, we're forming a pretty tight intraday balance, so a smart target on this would be just the midpoint of that balance, which is it's a 22-point balance, so it's 11 points midway, 74 minus 11, 63, so 63 would have been a perfect target on this, which is right here. And I just wasn't quick enough on that. Also, I wasn't really looking to take off the trade for a 3-point profit at first, but looking back at it, it's exactly what I should have done. I should have cared less about RR and more about what's likely to happen and how I should be trading the conditions. But yeah, that started reversing pretty fast. We hit reduced risk right there. I think that was about 1.5 points. And then I did trail this one at 6.3, and it got taken real quickly. News came out at 10. There's another reason I wanted to get out of this. You can see I could have, if I got lucky with not getting stopped out and everything, could have maybe snagged a few more points on this. And then price has just been choppy ever since. We broke out of this intraday balance, but have seen no movement at all. We've broken by about seven points in the tick. Just these past two candles, we are seeing a little bit more movement, but yeah, I was waiting for another potential entry. Maybe if price could test the highs of this higher time frame balance, try another trade, but gonna be done for the day there. Had three solid tries. Got all three trades moved in my favor, or well, the first one didn't move in my favor, but it was clearly the right move. Just did not get the right timing on it. It dumped without me right after. This trade, I got some run up. It just didn't scale out the best. And then this trade, same thing, got some run up, didn't scale out the best, and my move just didn't want to fully happen when I wanted it to. So I'm not going to force my hand on this. There's going to be plenty of trading days. It's right after the 4th. Low summer volume potentially, so just follow the plan, follow the system, don't force anything, don't try to be perfect, accept what happens on the day as long as you followed your rules and followed your plan. So yeah, that's it. Peace.